Loved ones, welcome to the Hey Loves podcast, Monday to Friday, with new episodes. If you're new to LoveMarlene 411, hit the like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. So, on today's podcast, we're going to be speaking on this topic right here. Life is better with gender roles. What is your opinion, loved ones? There are some that come from the belief system that once in a household, in a home, that there should be things that women do, and there are things that men do. I was raised in a very, I guess you could call conservative family where that was the case. It was just that way because my parents were, I would call them old fashioned, and my father was the one that made the money. My mother was the one that spent it. And in the household, my mother did all of the housework. My father did no housework, and everything that was outside or repairs that needed to be done, or trees that need to be cut, the lawn that needs to be cut, all of that was the role of my father. But i I'm different. I definitely am not a person to believe in gender roles at all, not just with um, those who are in a relationship together, but also it's very important, in my opinion, to teach children in a home that it's everyone's responsibility to take care of everything. A lot of times that when they have the gender roles, there's one or the other that gets burned out because I don't think there's anybody who wants to always 100% of the time do 100% of the cooking, or 100% of the time doing all of the cleanup. I think that work should be shared. I think that it helps with everything within the family. It helps families to come together, to appreciate one another. I definitely think 100% that families that don't appreciate one another, um, being where one messes up the home and the other one always cleans it, is because if you had to always pick up and clean up after yourself, would you actually drop those clothes on the floor? Would you actually make the messes that you make? Or the same on the outside? If you always had to empty the trash and clean up outside, would you toss your, you know, paper or whatever outside? Or would you show appreciation because you have to do it? And I tend to think that when you don't do certain things in the home, you don't understand how much work it takes for the upkeep of the house. Um, so that everybody can share in all of the work. And I get it. There are some, that's the way they were raised. That's their cultural background. That's just how it works in their household. And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do in your home, right or wrong. I'm just asking the question, is life better with gender roles? Was life easier during those times? From my perspective, growing up, and I would see my mother, cooking, cleaning, you know, washing laundry, putting clothes away. I feel like it was not balanced, in my opinion. I always thought that my father had it easier than my mother. I'm not saying it's easy to work and bring home money, because that's very hard and difficult. But I think in a household, the work never stops. when you go to a job, you clock in at a time and you clock out. Then you get to go home and rest. But in a household, especially a household with children or with other special needs family members, disabled family members, or grandparents, aunts, and uncles living in the home, it's a 24/7 job. It's a 24/7 role. So, you know, I do think it's not an equal position coming from how I was raised. So that's where I come from, the thinking that I don't think that um, life is better with gender roles. I think that life is better in general when there is balance, when there are conversations that need to be had, when uh, family members or relatives are committed to each other. And that's something that I learned in my adulthood that I'm going to talk about on another podcast, about sharing the roles in the family, sharing the responsibility, that it's not up to one person for the family's continued happiness, and mental health, financial health, and all of it. It's the whole collective. It's the whole family coming together has to think about one another, not burden down one or have so many expectations that one must do 50 things where the other only does one or two. So, definitely a balance is necessary. And I think that this is a very important conversation that needs to be had more, because a lot of times in families, we don't think about the strong ones that we have in the family. And a lot of times it's the moms, the grandparents, the aunts, who do the majority of the work. Not leaving out that, yes, it can be on the other side where it could be a father or an uncle or a grandfather doing the majority of the work. But whoever it is that has the bulk of the work on their shoulders, that could be the reason why they feel so stressed out. They feel so sad. They even get some mental health issues because of all of the stress that they have on their head, on their heart. And it is also affecting them physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, to think about our relatives and really to show how much we love them and how much we want to pour into them, I think it's so important to not really think about gender roles per se, but overall wellness. And for me, the wellness of my family is more important than a gender role. Um, but to each his or her own. Over here on Love Marlene 411, we have open conversations, and I want to hear what you all have to say in the comment section below. Do you have gender roles within your household? Did you grow up with gender roles? Was it a positive thing or was it a negative thing? These are the sort of conversations that definitely matter, the conversations that are very important. So, thank you for tuning in to the Hey Loves podcast, Monday to Fridays, where we talk about a short conversation for a short period of time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think. Do you think life is better with gender roles? Yay or nay? I would love to hear what you have to say. And as always, love yourself, love your mindset, and have those important conversations, because those conversations matter for your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well being. I will see you all on the next Love Marlene 411.